Rafael Benitez showed why he was run out of both Liverpool and Inter Milan in the space of just a few months back in 2010 with Chelsea's 1-0 loss at home to bottom feeders Queen's Park Rangers on January 2nd. Instead of leaving a winning squad alone, he suddenly wanted to prove what a genius he is by rotating the squad, which basically means leaving some of the squad's best players on the bench, such as Juan Mata and Eden Hazard. Instead, the likes of Marco Marin, Victor Moses, and Ryan Bertrand started the match and were ineffective. Instead of going with his stronger squad and trying to get a lead, Benitez often prefers to leave key players on the bench and then bring them on when the team's in dire straits. After losing to QPR, Benitez moaned to the press that his club doesn't have enough depth and he needs money to sign new players in the transfer window. Well, if that's the case, then it's the club's own problem. If you're trying to tell fans the current squad isn't strong enough to beat the likes of QPR at home, the question is why was Yossi Benayoun sent out on loan to West Ham along with Josh McEachran to Middlesbrough, Romelu Lukaku to West Brom, Michael Essien to Real Madrid, and Kevin De Bruyne to Werder Bremen? Also, why was striker Daniel Sturridge just sent to Liverpool? Granted, Benayoun has now been recalled from West Ham, but the rest of these players, along with more than a dozen other players, have been sent out on loan by Chelsea this season. In fact, there were 21 players who have been sent elsewhere. It's hard to really tell your own supporters that you lack depth when you've shipped out close to 2 teams of players to other football clubs. There's definitely something wrong with the club if its manager bemoans a lack of depth and you realize the problem comes from within. Since Benitez took over Chelsea in November, it's obvious that he wasn't involved in these decisions other than letting Sturridge go. There are rumors that Newcastle's top scorer, Demba Ba, will be signing with Chelsea, but Sturridge should not have been sold until Ba is officially signed. Liverpool found out the hard way this summer that you can't get rid of your own players until replacements are brought in first. The prime example of this was Liverpool manager Brendan Rodgers loaning striker Andy Carroll to West Ham because he thought he could sign Clint Dempsey of Fulham. Well, we all know how that turned out for him when Dempsey signed with Tottenham and Liverpool was left with just one proven striker in Luis Suarez. Benitez also amused Chelsea supporters after the QPR loss by saying striker Fernando Torres needed a rest because he's played too many games this season. Now, this is a nonsensical statement, as Torres, like every other professional football player, has trained for years to become an elite athlete. Their bodies are designed to handle the workload, and they have the benefit of world-class training equipment, facilities, nutritionalists, medical care, accommodations, and modes of transportation, etc., etc., etc. Now, what exactly is it they need a rest from? You see, the problem here with Chelsea isn't depth. It's a manager who can't properly motivate his players and tinkers with successful lineups for no apparent reason.